hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Blue Heart Crochet Craft Catch-Up episode number 91. So these are the videos that I do every Friday. I film them on Thursday but get them uploaded on Friday, where I talk about what I've been crafting with over the past week. Normally a lot of crochet and knitting. Today is more on the knitting heavy side, but both my finished objects are crochet. So yeah, let's get into it. And then also big life update at the end to explain what happened with my videos when I said I'm going to become regular again. And then the next video didn't get up. Anyway, it is getting a bit dark here. So it is currently 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it is getting dark already. So overall, it's just actually really overcast as well, which is not helping. Long story short, I've got the ring light on and I've got the overhead light on. So yeah, sorry if the quality's not that good today. Anyway, let's get on to what I've been working on. So first finished object is my little fairy. Her mouth looks really defined on camera compared to her eyes, but I don't think she looks too bad. She looks cuter in person than what she's coming out on camera, because of the way the stitches are. Some of her eyes are just, yeah. Anyway, that is her. She is really cute. I'm not gonna lie, the legs were a little bit complicated because you do a lot of shaping to get like the calves and everything on there, and yeah, I don't think I've particularly shaped them perfectly, so I think they are a little bit crooked and she's bending the wrong way with her knees. Anyway, and then the face, the shape you do for the chin, that was a bit of a took me a few goes to get it, but overall, other than that, it was not too bad, and I think she is super cute. So this is from the Simply Crochet magazine December 2022 issue, and it came with a calendar. Actually got the calendar there up. So yeah, it came with a calendar where it had fairies for every month of the year, and I am planning to do those fairies. So this was the first fairy. This was the Holly fairy, and she's so cute. It's based on pictures of these flower fairies, like these illustrations, and so yeah, I just think she's so cute. I used 3 different hook sizes because it recommends 3 different hook sizes, but I didn't use the hooks they recommended. I started for the most part of the amigurumi using the 3mm, which I normally use, and then realized it was telling me to use a smaller hook, so I just, if it was the bigger hook, I used a 3.5, and if it called for the smaller hook, used 2.5, and the middle hook for me was the 3mm. And I did not use the yarn specified in the pattern. I used what I had in stash. So we have Hayfield Bonus DK in lemongrass for the green. The red is Ladybird. The face and hands is Biscuit. It used to be called Flesh Tone, because I've started trying to keep track with my projects by using Ravelry. That's something I've done starting this year, and on Ravelry it's still called Flesh Tone, but yeah, it's now Biscuit apparently. So yeah, working on that, and then the black was just a little scrap bit of black, and then the brown for the hair, little scrap. It did have the hair like sticking out, but I couldn't get it to look well, so I ended up just sewing it in, and just looks like she's got a bit of a part. I think it's quite cute. Yeah, and then the white, the fairy wings, was Knitting Essentials yarn. It's basically a cheap yarn from Poundland here in the UK, but it is silver, and I don't even see, I think you might be able to a little bit, there's a bit of sparkle in them, so that's why I used the white from the Knitting Essentials. But it's even got like a little pom-pom on the hat. It's so cute. I'm going to be giving my nieces, I was going to give them the fairy for their month, their birthday month to them for their birthdays. However, my niece who's born in December, it's the Christmas fairy, and I don't know, I just felt like it was giving her a Christmas fairy on her birthday. No. So I'm giving her the Holly fairy, and her name is Holly, which makes it even more appropriate. So I did that. It did recommend you to use PVA glue, and tells you how to stiffen the wings. I didn't use that because if I'm giving it to my nieces as presents, I didn't want it to be totally hard for them playing with it. So what I used was spray starch. I just basically laid them out, pinned them, and sprayed this on them and left it for 24 hours. And it has worked really well. The points stick great, and it stayed in its shape really well. So I'll be doing that for the rest of the fairies with their wings. The next finished object, I don't actually have to show you. So I was making blankets for Christmas this year. My auntie and uncle came up for a very fleeting visit, and I didn't have the blanket finished in time because we were expecting them to stay for longer, and I thought, oh, I'll give them to them near the end of the stay. So didn't get it done by then. So what I decided to do was I was just going to get it done and give it to them as a gift when I next saw them. Now my sister had to go down to London for work, and they live in Essex, so she's staying with them. My dad also decided to go down and visit them and have a little trip there, so I told them to take the blanket with them and gift it to them there, and my auntie and uncle absolutely loved it. So I'll be putting in a picture to show you what it looked like, all done, laid out on my dad's couch. And yeah, I just really like how it came out, and they really love it. So what I did was I was using a 6mm hook, James C. Brett Marble Chunky in the colourway 77. I did a corner to corner stitch. I did 60 blocks by 60, and then I did 3 rows of half double crochet to do a border. And with that, I used approximately 6 balls of the James C. Brett Marble Chunky in total to do the whole blanket. And I didn't have much left over either, so it pretty much used up most of the 6 balls. And yeah, it is a lovely thick throw, and it is lovely and comfy, and it's getting cherished and loved. So I'm just made up about that. They are my 2 finished objects, and the only crochet I've got this week. Can't believe it. I think it's because I've been caught up on certain things. 3 of them are for Cal, so that's why. And another one was one I need to get finished, so it's getting prioritised. Right, my first work in progress is my rainbow jumper that I'm making for my nieces. I have got one completed. The other one I had the front completed. I've now finished the back. It is just rolling in. It is actually, you know, thicker. It will go over here, but yeah, it's just rolling in on these sides. That'll all be fine once it gets joined. I won't need to block it much of it. So yeah, I've completely finished the back panel. The front panel's done now, so it's just a case of doing the arms. The arms look a bit like organised chaos at the moment on these needles. This one is shorter than this one, and there's a good reason why. So at first I started doing them 2 at a time so I wouldn't get bored and only get one done, but because you're changing colour every 2 rows, it was just, you couldn't get into a groove with it, if that makes sense, because I'd go and do 1 row, I'd join, do 1 row, join again, do 1 row, remove, do 1 row, remove. You know, I wasn't getting far between having to stop and either disconnect or add new yarn, whereas with doing just the one, I do join 1 row, down, back, remove. So it is, yeah, I'm getting into the flow a bit more with it. So that is where we're at. It's a lovely jumper with like a rainbow design on the front, and then plain back, and then the sleeves are rainbow. With this one, I actually made the sleeves the grey of the jumper. With the other one that I did from my other niece, because I've got 2, I started with the rainbow from the very beginning and did it all the way up. And I just thought by adding that bit of grey on, it'll help them easily tell which one's the bigger size and which one's the smaller size. And besides, I think you're actually supposed to do the grey bottom. I didn't realise. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It is really fun to work on. And it's just a case of getting the sleeves done now. And I need to get working on it. The good thing is because you're changing colour every 2 rows, it's dead easy to row count because you can see the stripes dead easy. So I'm using a 4mm needle with this. It's from the Serdar Kids Bright book. I'm using Starcraft Specialty K in Matador's the red, Jaffa's the orange, Citron is the yellow, the green is grass green, and the purple is proper purple. The blue is a yarn from a discount store in the UK called Home Bargains, and the grey is paint box yarn in Misty Grey. So I'm getting that done really well. Just getting progress on it. I just really need to focus on it and just work through and try and sit down for a while and just focus on it rather than sitting down and getting up and doing bits and bobs. Yeah, I just need to sit down, power through and pay attention to it. My next works in progress, I've got my iPad next to me with all my notes on it, so that's why I keep looking down. Next project is for the hashtag Yarn Vacation AU, hosted by Judy at Witch Piece Craft. It is a cowl taken part from January to June, I think it's the last month, but you could still join in now if you wanted to. And there's a certain amount of projects that you like. There's certain types of projects you can do, like a snake, a wrap, I think it is, a blanket, and a scarf is one of them, I believe, and that's what I'm doing. I had originally found an advent pattern, so there was 24 colour sections and we get 12 prompts, so I was going to do 2 colours per prompt, but I redid the first section 4 times and I was just getting frustrated and it was never coming out how it was supposed to. So I decided to scrap that pattern and I picked up something else. And this is the Pan Cowl. Now I am doing a few extra blocks per row because you knit it in a circle. So I've made the tube bigger essentially. I can't go into too many details because it is a painful pattern. And then I am just following the sequence of the design. It is colour work and I'm really enjoying it. That's what the inside is looking like. So I am again doing the 2 colours per prompt, but I may do more places if after all the prompts it's still not the length I want it. I'll do a few more locations. But yeah, really enjoying it. And I did a provisional cast on for the first time ever, which yay, impressed at. When I was doing the professional cast on though, the strand of yarn wasn't big enough, so I ended up having to attach, so you can see it goes from green to yellow. Only I would do that. But anyway, let's get on to what they are. Most of the colours are little scraps that I have lying around. And the main colour is Starcraft Specialty K in Graphite. So the first prompt was optional, and this was before January, and it was Cairns or Cairns in Australia, which is where the town Judy's from. And so I did coral because during World War II, it was the landing staging area for the Allied forces during the Battle of the Coral Sea. So I did a coral. I did a goldy yellowy mustard because the town is named after a man who discovered gold in a nearby river. His last name was Cairns. Then we had Lancashire. Now I'm trying to do history prompts for them all because I'm a bit of a history geek. For Lancashire, the first thing I think of when I think Lancashire is the Wars of the Roses, House of Lancaster, which is red, House of York, which is white rose. So I did the red rose for that. And then the Pendle witch trials, which I did study about in school. And Pendle, there's this massive hill near Pendle, which is what the village is named after. So I did green for Pendle Hill. Then we went to Ireland. Now this has been my favourite prompt so far. So I've got a bit creative with the orange one, but it'll work anyway. The blue is for Belfast, because the Titanic, obviously famous from Belfast, and the blue's because it sails on the sea. And then also, when I went to Belfast when I was 18 and I went to the Titanic Museum and, you know, the docks, the dry docks where it was built, I mostly wore quite a dark outfit, and it was a really cold day. We were in November, but I did wear this bright blue pashmina as a scarf. And I'll try and put in a picture of me with the pashmina on, and you'll be able to see what I mean. Like, from the pictures you can just see that bright blue pashmina, so that ties in with that as well. The orange, so I have a lot of ancestors from Ireland. Most of my lines lead back to Ireland at some point. The most recent is my Fitzpatrick line. They were my great grandparents. They were born in Ireland, and I'm in this big Facebook group where there's a lot of us descendants from this specific branch in this clan in Ireland. We've all been proven by DNA in that. And there was a house that my third great grandparents lived in, and we were talking about this house. The house is now ruins, but right across the road there are descendants who still live there to this day, right across where it is. So yeah, I wanted to be inspired by that. And the house, the picture you've got of the house before it was the ruins, when it was still built and, you know, lived in as a house, it's an old picture, so it's got this orange tinge to this picture. Like, even the grass looks like a brownie orange in the bushes, so that's why I did the orange. So I'm loving it. The new prompt's just been released, and it is Barcelona, and I think I know what I'm going to do for the Barcelona one. I'm just going to see how it works up. So that is my paint Pan Cowl. It is a pay-for pattern, but I don't think it was too expensive. I'm really enjoying doing it. It is just something that is relaxing and soothing to do. Next, I've been working on these so much over the past few days, trying to get them done, but still need to do about 2 centimeters before I start doing the toe. That's from when I measured them. And these are the Colin socks, and these are my entry for the year of the sock make along. These were the January prompt, and this is why I really want to get them done, so I can get the February prompt done on time, and I'm not falling behind already when it's only the second month of the year. These are the cuffs here. These are cuff down socks. I do prefer toe down socks, but I am still relatively new with sock knitting, and I didn't know how to alter the pattern. Like, I didn't know whether you'd have to change decreases and increases to different types or what to get them to fall the same way in the end. But yeah, this is what I've got. They've got this lovely design down the side, and that is really, I'm loving how it's coming up. When you look at, when you're first working the design and you've just got like the leg done, you do struggle to sort of see how it's coming together, but when you get further down towards the toe, you're like, yes, that looks great. So I'm really enjoying doing these. I am doing them on 2.5mm needles, magic loop, and I do 2 at a time. I just find that for me is a lot quicker than doing them one by one. My watch is going to end up talking to me once I get it off. So that's what I have been working on. I do need to weave in the ends here, this one especially, because it is getting on my nerves. Keeps getting in the way. I had 2 balls of this, so I didn't have to split it, and it is Drops Fable yarn in the colourway Apple Green, or I think just apple, I'm not sure, but they're my socks. Hopefully finished for next week, and I'll have the second pair of socks on my needles. But I don't know what's going to happen with my crafting over the next week, and I'll talk more of that, well, about that at the end. My final where's Abby? Sorry, I'm not, my head's a bit mashed today. I've got a lot of stuff going on, and it's not working my brain today, but I have to get this filmed today. My final whip is the Starflake by Stephen West. Here's the way it parts, but because of the size of the needles it's on, it's sort of going to each other. Yeah, so I am on the chevron bit. My watch keeps thinking I'm trying to talk to it. I've done the parallelograms, and this I'm entering into 2 cowls. It is Mandy at Mouses Makes Starflake Make Along, I think it is Starflake hashtag is, and then hashtag Test Your Limits from Alex and my Yarny Corner. It's also going in that because I am trying new things. I tried I could bind on, cast on and cast off. And you know what? It took a bit, it was a bit, but I'm there now. I've learned it now. So yeah, I'm doing that. And then after I finish this section, because I'm on section 2, I want to say. Once I finish that, it'll be onto the brioche, which I've never done brioche before. And the way everyone talks about brioche, it has got me scared doing it. Never Shrek doing it. Yeah, but I'm putting in safety lines when I start new sections or new areas, so that if I have to frog back, it's only to that safety line. So that's going well. I am using Stylecraft Special 4-ply in the colourway Silver for the main, the contrast colour, which is the grey, and the multicolour is my own hand-dyed yarn, which I experimented up with. Now you'll probably be able to tell it from looking at the balls. One has more pinks in and a bit more like of the close to the undyed colour, where this is quite strong, vibrant blues and yellows. I did do them together, so they should be very similar, but obviously they're hand dyed, so they'll come out a bit different. And if you have a little look at these 2 parallelograms, they're both done with the different ones, so you can sort of see that they are working up a bit different. So because of that, every time I change colour, I am alternating between them. So I started with this one, and when you had to take the silver, took it off. When you next had to add in the main colour, I put this one on, and then going back, and I'm doing it that way so that it just looks like that's the natural variation of the hand-dyed yarn, and it doesn't look too different. I think if I did, you know, the top half on the first one and then the second half on the last one, I think then it would become very noticeable, the difference in them. So I'm hoping by doing that it's not going to be too different. Yeah, now that is all I've been working on. The Starflake, sorry, I forgot to say, is by Stephen West. I've never done a Stephen West pattern. I think everyone knows who knits sort of knows who Stephen West is. He's quite a big knitting designer, and he quite often does mystery knit alongs every year in the end of the year. His patterns most of the time are not really my style. The Starflake's one of his ones. Sorry, my hair's driving me mad. The Starflake is one of the ones where I don't actually mind it too much, but the majority of his patterns are not my style. That's it. But we've all got different styles and that, and they're quite angular and geometric and bold, and that's not really me. They are beautiful patterns, don't get me wrong, but not my cup of tea. But this, as I said, is one of the ones that I do actually really quite like, so that's why I'm taking part in it, and so I can also say I've done a Stephen West. Yeah, so that is all of the crafty content. If you are don't want to listen to life updates, I hope you're all having a wonderful day and staying safe and taking care, and I'll speak to you when I next put a video up, because at the moment I can't promise. Hopefully there will be Monday and Wednesdays, but I don't know I can't count on anything at the moment, and that's what I'm going to talk about in the life update. So, life update. Past few months and that, I have been applying for various jobs all over the place. And on Tuesday, when I was filming the Wednesday video, I got the first clips filmed. And about an hour after I filmed those first clips, I got a email of one of the jobs saying I had been accepted. I'd had gone on a few interviews, but they'd not really got past that stage. But yeah, I have now, they are going to take me on. So I have got to go down tomorrow, which is Friday. I have got to go there and take, you know, like proof of ID and, you know, prove that I can work in the country sort of thing. And then I start my training next week. That's why things might be a bit unpredictable at the moment, because I don't know how much crafting time I'm gonna get. I may be, even though I obviously like have the evenings and all that, I may be very tired from work, because it is such a big change and that. And so yeah, it's mad. I am very excited for the job. I am going to be a tour guide at an attraction, which is right up my street. It's something I love. I am a big history geek, so being able to talk to people all day about history is just, it's my dream. And I am made up that I get to do it. So yeah, that's where we're at. And I'm bouncing off the walls, and I'm made up about it. So yeah. But that's why, the things, it's been a hectic week. So on Tuesday I found it out, and me and my mum went out for a celebration meal that night, just to a local pub, but it was just, you know, getting out and being like, woo. And that, then Wednesday I went to where I volunteered. That was for the last time for I don't know how long. I'll be going in and seeing them all and that, and there's knitting that there, so I'll go whenever I'm free and can go. But yeah, had to go there, spent the day there yesterday. Today I've had medical appointments and they've just been up the wall. But we're going to negativity, and I don't want to deal with negativity right now. Focus on the good stuff. And then yeah, tomorrow I am going and getting sorted, so it's exciting. I'm just bouncing off the walls. So I hope you're all doing well, and that's the update. And I'll come back and I'll hopefully see you on Monday. But yeah, it's all a bit unpredictable at the moment. So I hope you're all staying safe, taking care, and I will see you soon. Bye.